have direct tax, and here Sashank Gujarati. He is from video. He is under international taxation. So many of you might be knowing him because he is so much famous on LinkedIn as well. So he is the treasurer of Vikasa for the tenure of 2024-25, and he is LinkedIn's top community voice, and he has around 8.2k followers on LinkedIn, and he is also a podcast team member of MSC. So we welcome you, Sashank, to this session.
Aditya, for inviting me on MSc for the straight up third time. It's my third time, and I'll be speaking on international taxation on Articleship guidance session of my student club. I feel extremely overwhelmed when my team invite me on my student club and I get a chance to guide people on what to choose, how to choose, and where to do the articleship. Because I was at the same side of the table 2 years back.
पंखा बंद करो ना.
पंखा बंद कर दो रोशनी जी. So I was at the same side of the table 2 years back, and I had no one to guide on, and I used to call people to please guide me and कैसा चल रहा है आपके फर्म में कैसे काम होता है या बिग फोर जाऊं या मिड साइज जाऊं, and I had no one to guide. But thanks to my student club that you guys are organizing such a wonderful session जिससे सबको फ्री में ही और without any cost गाइडेंस मिल जाता है और काफी अच्छा गाइडेंस मिलता है. द टाइप ऑफ स्पीकर विच यू गाइस ब्रॉट इन, सभी लोगों को काफी अच्छा इससे काम होता है और एक अच्छा उनको व्यू मिलता है कि व्हाट टू चूज एंड व्हाई टू चूज. सो या, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी एंड कंडक्टिंग दिस सेशन. आई एम रेडी. शूट अप योर क्वेश्चंस प्लीज.
Yeah, so I have compiled the audience questions right now. So, firstly, we would like to know about the insights of international taxation and what nature of work are you involved in this domain actually.
Yeah, so firstly, I've not made any PPD or something like that. I have just joined session 1 hour back and someone was showing PPD. I didn't get any time to prepare PPD and all that. As you all know, return season.
Shashank, that's totally fine, as we have listened the sessions earlier and you have entertained the audience and provided insights very well.
Yeah,
So it's not at all an issue.
Return season is going on. 31st October was the due date for corporate returns, but now it has been extended to 15 November. So coming to the question again, basically, international taxation is part of taxation. Direct taxation where you deal with assessees or non-residents. So because they are non-residents, other than income tax act, some other act also come into picture like RBI Act, FEMA Act, TTAAs and income tax treaties. You have to consider all those things so that you can save tax of your clients. What exactly goes into the work is three types of things if I come to bifurcate. There are works of litigation, compliance and advisory. Coming to litigation, so litigation means, I'll give an example. You are an assessee and you have paid tax of amount 10 lakh rupees. You have filed your return, but your AO, assessing officer, is of a view that you could have or you have to pay tax around 15 lakh rupees. Will issue a scrutiny against you that you should have paid tax of 15 lakh rupees, but you have only paid tax of 10 lakh rupees. Please give a reasoning. If you have or if you do not have, please pay 5 lakh rupees along with the penalty or the late income tax filing fees. So in litigation, what we do, we handle case of client and we fight against the government that client has paid 10 lakh rupees and it is justifiable because of these reasons, and the liability of paying 15 lakh rupees doesn't comes into picture. So this is the very basic idea of litigation, what we do. Second, coming up to compliance is complying with all the returns, all other procedure, filing forms and all those kind of things like TDS return, SFT returns, PP returns and income tax return obviously. You have to file all these kind of returns so that your reporting has been done in terms of government. Income tax. Coming to third part, advisory. For example, if a company has 5 subsidiaries, but now it wants to combine its business and it wants 2 subsidiaries only. So there are 100 ways how 5 subsidiaries can be merged into 2 subsidiaries. So client comes to us and guide us how should we merge or how should we entertain this kind of situation so that the taxes which are to be paid to government on mergers and acquisition, if shares are to be resold or shares are to be merged, how tax of shareholders is to be saved. So client comes to us to seek guidance on how to save tax, and we have to advise like you can do these kind of transaction, you can open one shell company or you can merge this company into this company first and wait for some time. so that you can get benefit of this scheme, and then wait for some time and merge those two companies once. So this is how advisory works. So majorly there are three kinds of work: litigation, compliance, and advisory. And these were the overview of these kind of works.
All right, Sashank, that was a very detailed information that you provided to us. Then our next question is, what inspired you to specialize in international taxation, especially when it is the direct taxation domain? It has other specializations as well. So, what led you get into this?
So I'll just start this with one of my friends saying. So my friend is in BCG. He is now into BCG pursuing his industrial training. He had offers from JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Ankit Rathi and Company, and one or two more UBS also. He was very confused because he was keenly interested into finance, and BCG does not offer finance. It offers management consulting only. He got investment banking in JP Morgan. He was very confused between JP Morgan and BCG. So how he decided BCG? I asked him that भाई तेरे को इतना जब finance में है तो तूने BCG कैसे decide करा? He told me one thing that if you are confused between two or three things, always choose the cream work. Cream work would always lead you to upper heights. So this was the case with me also. I firstly joined some other firm, TP Uswal and Associate in Stat Audit, and in the first 4 5 months only, I realized that Stat Audit is not my cup of tea because the work which I was getting monotonous. I was doing the same work again and again and again on the client. So I thought of shifting the domain. So yeah, I started searching for articleship on LinkedIn and started making references. And then I got opportunity in GT and in video. In GT I got in direct tax, and in video I got in international taxation. I compared like what kind of work comes into international taxation, what kind of work comes into direct taxation, corporate taxation basically. So I found that corporate taxation is a part. Matlab, all the work which you do in corporate taxation is there in international taxation. But also there are some additional work like TP compliances, TP audit, other forms, and the scope of advisory gets very huge and wider when you comes into international taxation, because the clients are non-residents. They don't know anything about income tax. Each and every basic thing we have to explain them. So yeah, this is how I found international taxation more interesting as compared to direct corporate taxation, because the scope of knowledge, scope of learning which I was finding was very wide in international taxation in terms of direct taxation. So yeah, also one of the major factor which I realized after getting into international taxation, that we have been paid more fees from international clients as compared to the resident clients. So yeah,
मोती
it
का
was
पेड़
not the point of consideration earlier, but yeah, I got to realize it later.
नाड़ा है वो
A blessing in disguise, I would say.
Yeah, carry on the top eventually.
Yes. And coming towards the interview, how did you prepare the interview for international taxation, especially? And what type of questions were typically asked for the?
Yeah, so I would say I was very maybe lucky in terms of interview, as my interviewer was very understanding, as she knew that few things which goes into international taxation are not there in syllabus of CA intermediate. So she kept my interview very basic and normal. She kept her questions up to PGBP, capital gain, TDS, deduction, and normal return filing question, that what are the due dates, what is the penalty. I would say if someone wants to prepare for any of the interview of tax, be it GST, direct tax, international taxation, transfer pricing, M&A tax, you should have hands on the TDS, deductions, PGBP, capital gain, also the due dates, and if some amendment has been made in the recent time, like a big amendment has been made on capital gain, you should expect that kind of question in your interview. And also, if something is going on or parliament session is going on and something is into consideration in parliament, you should be having some knowledge about that, as interviewers are keenly interested in knowing your current affairs related to that subject only. So yeah, I would say I was asked many questions, and I was also asked a case study that these are the transaction. These two people are getting transacted, and tell me on which under which section TDS should be deducted, and when TDS should be deducted, how much TDS should be deducted. So yeah, I would say PGBP, capital gain, TDS, deductions, and return filing due dates and the penalties. These are some major questions which you should have hand on.
All right, all right. Then, apart from academic knowledge, because the interview mainly focuses on academic knowledge,
Yeah.
That is mostly from our book itself. So during our articleship, what extracurricular activities that one can focus during articleship to excel in this field particularly?
So I always suggest some people that there are many free courses, genuine courses, not only for certification. Like if you see on LinkedIn, some people are there who post one or the other day completed this certificate from this website, this certificate on that website, but they are of no use unless and until you gain that knowledge. I always say to someone that you should have upper hand on MS Excel, MS Word. When you comes into DT or IDT into advisory part, PPT also plays a big part, because when you go to people like your partner of a big four or big six company, like I go to my partner, he's very much strict about PPT, that you should know this and that, and you should have a good hand on Excel, PPT, MS Word, and if you do not know Tally and Access and all those kind of things, that's okay. They do not come into picture in direct tax and international taxation that much, but you should have good hand on Excel, PPT, also Word. Other than that, I always say that you should pursue some courses related to IB and related to tax on tax. So there are some of the courses. There is also ADIT champions if you could do, but there's that is a very high level. I won't suggest at the time of starting of articleship, but when you get into international taxation or any of the direct tax domain, you should go for that course or maybe that certification. Coming to point, there are also some courses from JP Morgan and Chase, which are real courses, not like आपने वीडियो ऑन कर दिया and वो 6 घंटे का क्लास चल रहा है and आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाता है. No, you have to do some activities also. You have to file. You have to make some business models also. You have to do some financial modeling also. These are some courses. If you do, they add value to your resume. And if I was an employer, I would directly jump to those certification वाला part to ask some questions. कि भैया आपने ये करा है, so what have you learned and why did you choose to do those certification and all those kind of things? Because being a freshie passing from CA intermediate, we do not have any of the work experience. Everybody is same in terms of work experience. What you have extra is the key matter. अगर आपके पास ये सब सर्टिफिकेशन होता है या योर अपर हैंड ऑन एक्सेल, डीटी या आईडीटी में तो इतना नहीं होता, बट व्हेन यू गो टू स्टार्ट ऑडिट इन बिग फोर, यू शुड डेफिनेटली एक्सपेक्ट द क्वेश्चन इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्सेल. एक्सेल इज द वेरी मेजर पार्ट ऑफ योर डे. आपका दिन, अगर आप ऑडिट में हो तो दिन का 70 या 80% पार्ट आपका एक्सेल पे ही निकल जाता है. So yeah, these are some extracurricular softwares or certification which you should have, which would let you highlight from other candidates in terms of your interview.
Yes, exactly. Most people in today's generation run behind the certifications directly rather
Yeah,
than learning the.
I'm also seeing some of the people who just post that I pursued this course, I
Yes,
pursued that course, but
exactly.
they are of no use unless and until you have that knowledge. So yeah,
The core knowledge is missing mostly. Just that the
obviously,
certifications are on the paper.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and also tax has a lot of amendments coming, like most of the time. So, how do we stay updated with those constantly changing amendments that are coming in the
So
tax?
basically, personally, uh, coming to my point, so I work in video, and video has purchased the premium subscription of two websites, that is Tax Sutra and Taxman. So I don't have to do anything. I have to just go to my office and check my emails daily. All the amendments that has been made of the day comes to my email on the very next day with the very much explanation that these are the amendments, these are the effects, and from these that these would be applicable. And इस बंदे का ये concern है, उस पे उस बंदे का ये concern है. This could lead to this, and this could lead to that. I have to not to do anything thanks to my company video. So yeah, Tax Sutra and Taxman are the two websites where I get those updates. But as they are paid, I would suggest there is one website known as ClearTax. ClearTax is also a software for filing TDS and income tax return. But they are very keenly, majorly into those articles also, where you get to learn about the amendments and articles for free. So you can visit ClearTax, Tax Sutra, Taxman. Also, there's one website known as Tax Guru, which publishes free articles on amendments and some other kind of stuff also. So they are some of the website which I refer to stay updated. Also, the income tax has its portal, Income Tax Act. If you refer, it would help you also in studying. So it is made very well, and it has been developed so beautifully that you just, there are specific section that if you want to search deduction, you don't know any of the deduction. You can search for deduction. All the section which have deductions would come. If you want to search section number 47, go to the column of section, search 47. Section number 47 would come. Its explanation would come. उसके अलावा उसको कोई सर्कुलर आया तो it would come. So nowadays income tax website has also been updated very beautifully. You can just refer to it and you can stay updated there also.
All right. So this was all from my side. If any audience wants to question, we can.
How international taxation is different from direct tax. So I just explained this, I think.
It was started with that itself, Muhammad
Yeah.
Israr.
But
Anyone else? There was a person who raised his hand. I don't remember the name, but yes, Preetham.
Hello,
Yes, you are audible. You can ask your question.
am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are audible. You can start with your question.
Yeah, my question is to Shashank. Are there going to be any vacancies in taxation domain in Deloitte? And second one follow-up question is, are they going to accept the transfers like just joined 2 months ago, like in August?
He is from video, not from Deloitte, to make
Okay,
it
so
clear.
okay, either it's from Big Six or Big Four.
bro, I think there was some network issue at my end. So please give me a heads up if I'm audible now.
You are audible, Shashank.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So sorry. Can we continue
Yeah,
with the questions?
yeah. Are there any going to be vacancies in Big Four and Big Six in taxation domain? Because most of the hiring was done in May attempt, right?
Yeah. So very good point to consider, buddy. And this is not only for taxation domain; it is for each and every domain. So there would be to give you a reality check. There would be a vacancy crunch in all the big four or big six because majorly all the hiring has been done in last attempt, and there would be a vacancy crunch because it's the first 3 months attempt जिसके लिए आर्टिकलशिप का हायरिंग हो रहा है. आई वुड से इट वुड बी ग्रेट इफ यू स्टार्ट अर्ली. जैसे आज या कल तक आपका रेज्यूमे बन जाए अदर देन मार्किंग योर मार्क्स. उसके अलावा आप सारी चीज मार्क कर लीजिए एंड जैसे ही रिजल्ट आता है यू स्टार्ट अप्रोचिंग टू एचआर और योर कनेक्शंस ऑन लिंक्डइन और एनीवेयर ताकि आपका रेफरेंस लग पाए. देयर वुड बी डेफिनेटली अ वैकेंसी क्रंच बट यू हैव टू फाइंड अ वे. कहीं ना कहीं से तरीका निकालना पड़ेगा अंदर जाने का. कहीं ना कहीं से रेफरेंस ढूंढना पड़ेगा. सो या वैकेंसी क्रंच तो सब जगह होने वाला है बट हाँ हायरिंग होगी. छुटपुट हायरिंग होगी. इक्का दुक्का हायरिंग होगी लेकिन हायरिंग जरूर होगी. हर अटेम्प्ट में हायरिंग होगी. हर डोमेन में हायरिंग होगी.
And the
ऑलवेज
follow-up
रिमेंबर हर
question.
अटेम्प्ट में हायरिंग होती है. लेकिन हाँ इस बार वैकेंसी क्रंच होने वाला है तो जहाँ 100 लोग हायर होते थे वहां पर इस बार 30 या 40 लोग ही हायर होने वाले हैं.
Okay, then my follow-up question is: are they going to give a chance to the transfer cases like just joined 2 months ago in another firm?
But to be honest, Big Four and Big Six are now not entertaining transfer cases unless and until you have a very good reference. By reference, what I mean, you have manager, director, or partner level reference. If you have that kind of reference, then there is no issue. But without that reference, now getting into Big Four or Big Six with a transfer case is a bit difficult. But yeah, depends on situation to situation and team to team. Majorly, they do not prefer transfer cases now because they have a hell lot of options. But yeah, I would still say try. कोई मैनेजर अगर ऐसा हो who is comfortable in working being a transfer case, then why not? So yeah, it is difficult, but yeah, not impossible. And if you'll try and make connections on LinkedIn, keep your concern that this was the reason why I'm getting taking transfer and that, then I would say definitely you would find a way to get in.
Yeah, you mean I need to mention the case where why I'm transferring in LinkedIn?
Obviously, if you are a transfer case, always expect that question in your interview. See, also I was also a transfer case. The very first question I was asked in my GT, EY and a video interview that why are you taking transfer? So be prepared for that. अगर आपका रीजन कोई भद्दा सा है तो एक अच्छा रीजन बना लो. कुछ भी एक अच्छा सा रीजन बना लो कि प्रिंसिपल अच्छा नहीं था या सीखने को ही नहीं मिलता था या मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा. अगर कोई उल्टा सीधा रीजन है तो ऐसा अच्छा रीजन बना के रखो. अगर उसको आपका ट्रांसफर लेने का रीजन ही पसंद नहीं आया तो इंटरव्यू वहीं शट कर देगा. वेरी सिंपल.
Okay, okay.
या
Thanks a lot.
या नो वरीज.
So I don't think we have any other. Okay, Rishbha Jain has a question. You can unmute.
This is harsh truth that
Uh,
attempts do matter for Big Four or Big Six. How can we ace the interview despite that? So, buddy, this is a very harsh truth, but reality. Attempts do matter because being a freshie, you do not have any of the work experience. So, how would the interviewer judge your ability to do work under pressure and all those kind of things? Sadly, don't mind my words, but in the industry, be after clearing CA Inter, the only way they can judge you is on your CA Inter result. If you took 2 3 attempts, that is not a bad thing at all. But being an interviewer who has a hell lot of options of 100 or 200 people for vacancy of 10 people, they would obviously choose someone who has cleared CA Inter with a rank or with the first attempt pass out. Why would he go to a person who passed CA Inter in 2 3 attempts? I'm again saying there's nothing bad in that. But being a CA, being an interviewer, it puts me under that pressure that if I have a better options, people who have passed CA Inter in first attempt, then why should I go to third or fourth attempt? Saying again, there's nothing bad in that. But because I'm an interviewer, I need to choose the best people around me, and this is the only way I can choose some best people. So yeah, that is a harsh truth, but yeah, this is how it goes.
Uh,
Yeah,
Good evening, sir.
yeah.
Thank you so much for the session. I would like to ask that if you're interviewer and I am the transfer case, if I say that my reason for transfer is that I believe my opportunities in Panipat, because I'm residing in Panipat and I'm doing articleship there, my opportunities in Panipat are more are very less as compared to in Delhi. That's why I want to take transfer in Delhi, and I believe my confidence and my abilities will, of course, secure a position there. So, how does it sound?
So that's a very good question, but stay ready for a cross question. And then why did you choose Panipat at first? Because there are आपको पहले भी तो पता होगा ना कि पानीपत में और दिल्ली में is a major difference. Why did you
Uh,
choose Panipat at first? That's a very good answer to the question, but get ready for the cross questioning. इसके लिए भी prepare करके जाना.
so, can I just answer this? Like, I
Yeah.
actually didn't know. Like, the opportunities in Panipat will be this limited. Like, I was actually not aware of this thing. So, is it a
Yeah. So
vague answer or actually a good answer?
that is a vague answer. Eventually, to be honest, that is a vague answer. But how you can handle is that I was very misguised during my interview. I was told that I would get these much amount of work and these much opportunities, but I'm not getting them in reality, and my seniors are not supporting me, and I'm not getting the work I expected, and I don't think that I'll be learning much of the work during my articleship, and this is the reason why I want to get transferred. Why Panipat? Why not Panipat? Is I am in very good firm of Panipat, and I do not think that Panipat has that much of opportunity which I can get in Delhi. So yeah, Delhi being a metro city, also the capital of India, I think there are some very good opportunities which are waiting for me, and I want to grab them. You can frame
Thank
a
you so
sentence
much.
like that and go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
No worries. So one of the question which was in chat that can you please specify which firms provide international taxation practices? So international taxation is a very wide term. M&A also comes into international taxation. Transfer pricing also comes into international taxation. Obviously, all the big fours, big six, and जो भी top 10 firms है, they provide international taxation practices. Some of the mid-sized firm also provide transfer pricing practices, but yeah, this is limited. Not each and every firm has a specific team of international taxation and transfer pricing. But if you want to specialize, go for some of the best firms, preferably big fours. So yeah. या आपका 6 महीना सेव हो जाएगा अगर आप 31st के पहले रजिस्टर कर लेते हो, बट प्लीज डोंट गो इन दैट लूप कि आप 31st के पहले कोई पहचान वाले सीए के रजिस्टर कर लो एंड उसके बाद आप बिग फोर या बिग सिक्स जाने का ट्राई करो. आई एम रिसीविंग मेनी कॉल्स जब से अनाउंसमेंट हुआ है कि क्या ऐसा कर सकते हैं, ऐसा कर सकते हैं. आप अपने आप को ही फंसा लोगे. आप अपना 6 महीना सी अगर आप 31st के बाद रजिस्टर करोगे तो आप 6 महीना एक्सटेंड नहीं कर रहे हो अपना अटेम्प्ट. 31st के पहले रजिस्टर करने से आप अपना 6 महीना बचा रहे हो. तो आई वुड से इट इज बेटर अगर आपको अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटीज 31st के बाद मिल रही है तो 31st के बाद रजिस्टर करो. बट आर्टिकलशिप अच्छी जगह से करो, अच्छे डोमेन में करो, अच्छी टीम के साथ करो, बिकॉज दीज आर सम crucial 2 years which would define base of your whole career. So yeah, 6 महीने बचाने के चक्कर में अपने लाइफ के 3 4 साल आगे पुश मत कर देना. आई वुड से अगर अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटीज 31 अक्टूबर के बाद मिल रही है तो वेट फॉर इट। कुछ ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है, आप किसी से पीछे नहीं रहोगे। इट्स जस्ट लाइक आप 6 महीना बचा रहे थे वो नहीं कर पाओगे। सो या, दैट वाज माय आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन। Is there any other question, Barka? If we registered within 15 days, register who made one. Yes, it is possible. Is there any other question, Barka?
No, I don't think so that there are any questions in it. Shivangi, is there any question? Yeah, one was there. I have to ask it personally. As you are the treasurer of Vikasa for the tenure of 2024 and 2025, so what kind of growth you have received as being a member at Vikasa?
So,
Like, how did you manage your studies and the work at your workplace too?
so they are they are two different questions when it comes into growth and all those kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
things. So, firstly, I was not that good. Currently, also, I'm not that good at speaking. But yeah, after being into Vikasa, my stage fear has being crossed a lot, and I am into speaking and managing a team of around 15-20 people. I have a team of 50 to 100 people who are volunteers at Vikasa, and we three who lead that team. And yeah, so it's very great to have a team like that, and you get to learn a lot of things from them. Also, you get to interact with some of the RCM, PCM, and some big names which are there in CA industry. You get to meet them. Like we met Anupam Mittal, Jaya Kishori,
Yeah, at
Ramesh Prabhu,
regional
Suresh Prabhu, and
conference.
other people. Yeah, in conferences. So you get these opportunities to meet those people and learn from them. Also, you get to learn how to manage things up, how you could do things to get the place where some other people are there. So yeah, it is a very good opportunity. Also, I would suggest everybody of you to join कासा of your branch। जहाँ पर भी आप रायपुर में हो तो रायपुर ब्रांच ज्वाइन करो, अकोला में हो तो अकोला करो, पुणे में हो तो पुणे करो। जहाँ पर भी हो वहाँ की ब्रांच ज्वाइन करो। जो हम चीजें कॉलेज अपनी स्टडी में अपने स्टडी मटेरियल में मिस कर देते, बट विच आर वेरी एसेंशियल फॉर ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी, यू गेट टू डू दोस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स। व्हाट एग्जैक्टली कासास डू, दे ऑर्गेनाइज इवेंट्स, सेमिनार, कॉन्फ्रेंसेज एंड इंडोर आउटडोर स्पोर्ट्स एंड कल्चरल इवेंट्स, ताकि जो चीजें हमारे स्टडी मटेरियल में मिस हो जाती है हमको वो मिले। ऑल्सो द चेरी ऑन द टॉप इज यू गेट टू मेक lot of connections, and abhi kyunki you guys will go into the market to get your articleship, you will get to know that how connections are important, how much connections are important. So you get to get opportunity to make connection, interact with people, interact with big names which are going into industry. So yeah, coming to the second question, how I'm managing my studies, office work, and being into Vikasa and all that. So yeah, I won't brag anything, but it's not an easy job to do because being into video, I have to work a lot. It is not an easy job to work because it's not a mid-sized firm, and being into international taxation, there's nothing like season. There's season all in all 12 months in a year because we have work of advisory also, and I have to prepare for my CA final also. So it's not an easy job, but yeah, it's all about priorities. If you want to do something, you'll eventually take out time to do it. So yeah, some or the other way, 10% or 20% each and everything will get compromised. But yeah, if you want to do some more things, you have to make priorities. You have to take out time for that to fulfill your dreams and other kind of things. So yeah, if you want to manage things, things will get managed. Some or the other way, 10 or 15% of the things would get compromised. बट अगर 10-15% कॉम्प्रोमाइज होने पे आपको कुछ 50-60% का रिटर्न मिल रहा है, सो दिस इज हाउ यू शुड गो फॉर इट। सो दिस इज हाउ आई मैनेज। बट या, अभी क्योंकि ऑफिस के सीजन का भी टाइम चल रहा है तो अभी बहुत दिन से मेरी पढ़ाई रुकी हुई है, एंड थैंक्स फॉर मेकिंग मी रियलाइज दैट आज मैं पढ़ना चालू करूंगा वापस।
Chalo, that was a great thing then.
Yeah.
Is there any other question,
Thank.
Barkha, Shivangi? So are there any
In,
courses or options we can do to improve our sleep? I just completed that questions, but referred to this recording. Thank you so much, Barkha, Shivangi, Aditya, for inviting me over here. I would like to thank my student club for inviting me from
Thank
past,
you so much to
yeah,
you,
past 2 times.
Shashank, that you provide amazing, insightful session to us.
Thank you so much, Barkha. I would like to thank my student club that you guys are doing great. for our community, and your existence matters a lot nowadays because of that industrial training placement website also, and articleship guidance session also. Also, if anybody has any other questions or need any help, I'm open call on LinkedIn. You can connect with me over LinkedIn. LinkedIn. I also have one Telegram channel known as All About Articleship, where I provide guidance. Or if my friend needs some articles in their team, I can and I'm able to provide the reference. I provide direct references also. You can join that group also. Or if you have something related to your CA studies or uh, कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, we have our groups of Mikasa. We have 5 6 groups of Mikasa. You can join that group where you get to interact with many people. आपको कुछ भी डाउट होता है, वहाँ पे 1000 1200 लोग होते हैं, कोई भी आपका डाउट सोल्व कर देता है. सो या, these are the